Hello viewers, welcome to ekamiasacademy. In this video, we are going to discuss about Citizenship Amendment Act 2019. Why it is in news, what is this act, okay, why it has created so much of controversy, why many people are opposing this particular act, and what is the impact of this particular act in India. So who are all opposing this particular thing, and what is the stand of the government, and we will see some important interesting things with respect to history related to citizenship and what are the pacts signed between India and Pakistan at the end. So stay tuned, and also we are going to discuss practice questions for prelims and mains. So we'll start the class here. So we are going to discuss about Citizenship Amendment Act, why it is in news, what is this act of 2019, why is the reason, what is the reason for the delay in the implementation of the act. Okay, so you can see here the act was passed. Act means the bill was passed in parliament and it was passed in 2019. It has received the presidential assent in 19. Then why did it not get into implementation form till 2024? We are already in 24, right? So why did it was not implemented till date, and what are the reasons for this delay, and what are the counter claims in response in case if any persons have raised some objections against this particular act, what are the counter claims, okay, so that can be filed, and what are the rules that were stated for the Citizenship Amendment Act by the Government of India. All these things we are going to discuss. Before that, we have to look into syllabus. This forms part of polity under Indian Constitution. You know, citizenship is forming part of Part 2 of Indian Constitution. What are the articles related to citizenship? Article 5 to 11 of Indian Constitution. So these articles and this part specifically deals with citizenship in Indian Constitution. So it is part of GS paper 2. Then why it is in news? Okay, so this act, Citizenship Amendment Act of 2019, okay, so it was not put into implementation so far. Okay, so recently central government has stated that rules for this implementation of the act they're going to be notified soon before Lok Sabha elections itself. So in May we'll be having Lok Sabha elections, right, general elections. Before that only the rules, okay, so what are the rules, how to get citizenship through this particular act, and all these things will be notified before May itself. So that is the recent news we have. So before that, we have to understand what is the rationale behind this particular law. Okay, so all these things we'll be discussing. So here you have to understand Citizenship Amendment Act, okay, 2019. So it is saying that it is with respect to citizenship. Okay, you know what is citizenship, right? Okay, then what is it? This A stands for, it is amendment, means which act is getting amended here? It is Citizenship Amendment Act, okay, Citizenship Act of 1955. So it is amending this particular act. So why this act was brought by the parliament? That also you have to know, because whenever Indian Constitution has come into force, that is in 1950, from 26 January, right? So when it has come into force, at that time Constitution has stipulated that, okay, from Article 5 to 11, that whoever all persons at that time, according to the Constitution, they are only treated as citizens of India. But after such time, okay, so if you want, how to make citizens, okay, who have to be given citizenship, and if any person loses citizenship, on what grounds he will be losing citizenship, all these things are not clearly stated in the Constitution. So that is why under Article 11, if you do remember, Parliament was given power by the Constitution to say, okay, so who is eligible to become citizen of India, and what are the grounds, okay, for getting citizenship in India, and what are the grounds for losing citizenship in India. So these three questions are answered by Citizenship Act in 1955. This act was passed by Parliament because it was given powers under Article 11 of Indian Constitution. So you know, what are the grounds to acquire citizenship in India? Easily you can remember. This is a trick I'm going to give you for prelims. That is brand. Okay. Brand. Birth, registration, acquisition, naturalization, and descent. Through these 5 ways, brand. Okay. So through these 5 ways, Citizenship Amendment Act of 1955 is giving you the way to acquire Indian citizenship. Okay. Then what are the grounds of losing citizenship? You have to answer in the comment section. Okay. So there are some grounds. So what are those 3 grounds? I am giving a clue also. 3 grounds should be answered. Okay. So here this is the main thing. So this act is getting amended by this particular act. So why we are amending this? What is the rationale behind this act is? So you know, in India, how many are minorities? 6 religions are considered as minorities. Okay, so what are those 6 religions who are considered as minorities? You answer in the comment section. Then here we have to understand that this Citizenship Amendment Act is going to give citizenship to all the religions except Muslims, for example, okay, except Muslims, like Hindus, Christians, Buddhists, Sikhs, Parsis and Jains. So these 6 people are given citizenship if they are coming from Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh. If you know, these 3 countries are Muslim dominated countries. So here there is a chance, because these people, wherever these countries are Muslim dominated, these will be under minorities. Okay, so there can be a chance of minority prosecution in these countries. So if these people are facing religious prosecution and all, at that time they can, okay, if they come before 31st December of 2014, if they enter into India, they can be granted citizenship under this particular act of 2019. So this is the main objective. So this is a cutoff date. And another important thing you have to remember is this particular act previously under naturalization, even President of India. In India, if you want to become a president, you have to be a citizen by birth or citizen by naturalization also. And now answer in the comment section, who is the person to get Indian citizenship? A famous personality has granted citizenship of India through naturalization process. Who is that person? Answer in the comment section. So this naturalization, for getting citizenship, minimum age, for the minimum years you have to reside in India is 11 years. But this requirement was relaxed now, and it was reduced to 5 years only under the Citizenship Amendment Act of 2019. This is also another feature that was proposed by this particular act. Okay, so now we have seen, right, what is the controversy about then? The controversy we'll see in the future further slides. Just wait for a few minutes. So this act is amending the definition of illegal migrant. Who is the illegal migrant? Illegal migrant can be of 2. Okay, so a person who illegally entered without proper valid visa and all, he can be considered as an illegal migrant. Okay, or some persons, for example, another way, if any person entered in India properly with valid visa and all, but later after expiring of the period of visa also, if he is illegally staying in India, then also he can be considered as illegal migrant. So if any illegal migrant belonging to Hindu, Sikh, Parsi, Buddhist, Jains and Christian, but not Muslims, okay, so this is the reason of controversy, coming from Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh, who have lived in India without documentation. Okay, if he lives in India with documentation, he will not be considered as illegal, right? So this is one main thing. So they will be granted fast track Indian citizenship within 5 years. As I told you earlier, it is 11 years. So this act is amending which act? 1955 Act. So also it is providing another important thing, not only with respect to this, is cancellation of overseas citizenship of India. In case OCIs, will be giving persons of Indian origin POI cards and OCI cards. So in case if any person are having this particular citizenship, if he violates any provisions of the Citizenship Act which is in force, at that time there is a provision for cancellation of his citizenship under this particular new act also. Okay, so this is another particular feature introduced by this act. Then who is eligible? Okay, so who are forced or who are facing religious persecution, then, and also who are illegally migrating into India, for them to protect these minorities, because these people belonging to these religions coming from Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh are illegal, okay, because they are in minorities and they are forced to flee their country. Okay, so the cutoff date is very important, 31st December 2014. Okay, so which means, because this act was passed in 2019, right? So if you go back, it is 5 years term. Previously 11 years minimum requirement is there, but now this was reduced to 5 years itself. Okay, so he should have entered India or before that date, any date also. This act will not apply. This is very important. Okay, such questions can be asked in prelims, because this act has created a lot of controversy, so it will definitely catch the eye of examiner. So this act will not apply to those areas like 6th schedule areas. What are 6th schedule areas? Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. So autonomous tribal institutes, so for wherever the autonomous tribal councils are there, so for those areas it will not apply. Then, so additionally, it will not also apply to those areas which are with inner line permit. What is inner line permit? Inner line permit means if you want to enter into these areas, you have to take additional permission. Even though if we are Indian citizens also, we have to take permission and we have to state the reasons why we are going to enter into these areas and how many days we are going to reside, all these things, because it is introduced because these areas are there with tribal identity. Okay, so to protect their tribal identity and not to interfere into tribal culture and all, this concept of inner line permit system was introduced at the time of British only, and now we are continuing. So inner line permit is in this particular states of Arunachal, Nagaland and Mizoram. Okay, so for these three states also it will not apply. Okay, only these areas with inner line permit, it will not apply. So with respect to implementation, it was not notified yet. Okay, so from when it will be into implementation, because normally when the act, when it was receiving presidential assent and all, it should get notified in the government gazette that from this particular date, this particular act will be coming into force. But this did not happen with respect to Citizenship Amendment Act. So what is the reason is because reasons for delay. So many peoples are opposing, like for example Assam and Tripura. So many tribal people and many natives of Assam and Tripura are opposing. Why they are opposing? Because if you see, Assam is also so much in news because of illegal migrants and the natives are opposing them and all. So if you see the map of Northeast, okay, so here you have Bangladesh and here you have Myanmar. From Myanmar we are having this Rohingya influx into some parts of the neighboring states like Arunachal Pradesh and all these, and at the same time from Bangladesh many Bengali migrants are entering into Assam. So that is why Assam is always facing such issues. Okay, so they don't want, because illegal migrants are entering and they're getting same level of benefits from the government in comparison with the natives itself. That is the reason, because of these reasons opposition is faced from Assam and Tripura. And also it is going to alter the demographic means population trends, because if these migrants come in large number, then actual natives will be in minority and these people can become majority. So that is one fear they have in mind. And it is also said that this is a violation of 1985 Assam Accord. So what is this 1985 Assam Accord? Whenever this Bangladesh Liberation War happened in 1971, there is a large scale influx of Bengali migrants. So at that time into Assam, so people because of this, what happened is Assam people don't want such large scale migration into their particular state. So at that time, during Rajiv Gandhi government tenure, so there was an accord signed between this Assam government of India and Bodoland Territorial Council and all. So at that time they said that whoever the migrants, okay, so they're coming after 1966 but before 25th March 1971, because this is a date of Bangladesh liberation. So if they come before, within this 5-year period, they can be given citizenship. Means even if they're foreigners coming from Bangladesh and other countries, they can be granted citizenship. Okay, but now if you see, this is allowed only till 1971 according to Assam Accord. But now you are saying even if they enter before 2014 31st December also, you are giving citizenship. So this is violating of this Assam Accord of 1985. So that is why Assamese are opposing this particular proposal. Okay, then this did not remain to Northeast only, but other parts also are protesting, mainly because of one provision, that is anti-Muslim, because we are providing citizenship to all the religions, but why you are excluding Muslims? That is the most important controversy surrounding this particular act. Okay, and so many people are saying that this is violation of Article 14. If you do remember, under fundamental rights, some rights are applicable to only citizens and some are available to non-citizens also. So, and if you do remember, Article 14 is applied to citizens as well as it is applicable to non-citizens or aliens or foreigners. So, in case if this applies to foreigners and if you are only giving citizenship to some people and you're excluding this particular religion, then it is a clear violation of Article 14. So some political groups and also some religious groups are also raising this particular standard. It is violation of Article 14. They can approach Supreme Court also if it comes to implementation. Then it is arbitrary, because some people, okay, so for example Rohingyas, these are also Muslim minorities coming from Myanmar, Tibetan Buddhists from China, okay, and also Tamils from Sri Lanka. These are also religiously persecuted, right? Then why you are not giving citizenship to these people, and why you are giving citizenship only from these 3 countries is also one controversy regarding this particular act. Then what are the counterclaims? So the center is saying that it is reasonable classification only, because we are not giving based on religion but religious discrimination, because in these 3 countries, as Muslims are in majority, so there won't be any religious discrimination towards Muslim people. That is what the center stand is. And Parliament said that after 7 decades, okay, we have looked into the details of the issue, then only we started giving this, by including this specific amendment for a specific problem from specified countries only. So they're saying this is a specific issue, this is not a generalized issue. That is why Parliament said that we have passed this particular act, and this legislation was not a solution for issues across the world, because we are not going to give place for every refugee coming from every part of the world, okay? So that is not practically possible according to the central government. Then what are the rules that are going to be implemented for this particular act is, now it will be through online portal, even through a mobile phone also you can register for citizenship, okay, without any documentation also. That is what. And here you have to declare the year, without any document also it is allowed. You have to declare the year of entry when you have entered and all. So it will be applied after 2014. In case if you have entered, then there will be different rules that will be applied. So this is the total issue about. And now it's time for practice question. So which article of the Constitution of India deals with rights of citizenship of certain persons of Indian origin residing outside? So what is the answer among these articles? Answer in the comment section. Then mains question, you can see how justified it is to view the issue of Citizenship Amendment Act from communal prism. Substantiate your views. Such questions can be asked in mains because of its lot of importance. It is so much in news and it has lot of importance attached. So that is why you can expect such questions in mains. So we have come to an end of our discussion. In this video, we have discussed what is Citizenship Amendment Act 2019, what is its intention, okay, how it is differing from 1955 Act, and what are the grounds for granting citizenship and losing or renunciating citizenship we have seen, and why this act was opposed by so many people, to whom it will apply, to whom it will not apply, we have seen, and we have also seen a practice question for prelims and mains. So this is all about this video. Thank you.